don't necessarily like to lift weights. If you catch me on the right day in the right mood,
Right.
I might be like pumped to go to the gym, but generally I'm just like, this is it's kind of like boring. I mean, it's not as like mentally like stimulating as like running is. So I just don't like to do it. It's almost kind of like the just like a chore to do. So I've tried to find ways recently to integrate strength training, but doing it more frequently seems to be better for me. So like what I've been doing lately is 3 days a week, I'll do like a probably 20-ish, maybe 30, maybe minute max circuit of, I'll just pick like 3 to 4 exercises, do them at the house. I have some kettlebells, I have some like general other stuff, and I'll kind of do that. That to me seems to be a better way to do it. I could do some more like heavy stuff and actually go to the gym and do some like heavy lifts. I think that would be beneficial. But in terms of just like integrating it, frequency for me has been better versus just saying, I'm going to go to the gym now for an hour and a half and like do these long drawn out sessions. So I'm curious how you like strength, how you program your strength.
Yeah, I should clarify on that, because it's every day, but it's not like what you would imagine when you think strength training every day. So the way I look at it is I've got like daily drills or daily exercise, and those are things I'm gonna aim for every day. I'll miss a day every once in a while, but I'm usually pretty consistent. And that's gonna be just a series of kind of mechanical motions, more or less, where I'm not really doing any weight bearing for the most part with it, but I'm doing like leg swings, forward squats, Bulgarian split squats unweighted, some box steps, and maybe just like a set. And I'm just going to run through like that circuit. It's probably like maybe 10, 15 minutes tops. And then that's going to be like baseline, like just drills essentially. And then from there, I'll do like one lower body session that is like muscular endurance based. So like I'll do like alternate leg jump squats, forward lunges. What's the other one that I have in there? You might have my program in front of me. I'll do, did I say box steps? I think, yeah, box steps is the other one. So that's like a 4-piece muscular endurance routine that I'll do. So it'll be like one more specific lower body day that I'll do, and then I'll do a more weighted one for the second lower body session for the week, and that'll be like hex bar deadlifts. I'll do like weighted Bulgarian split squats, some heavier kettlebell swing type stuff. Depending on kind of where I am in the training cycle, like I might do some like more weighted versions of those muscular endurance stuff where I'm trying to do more like one leg at a time, since running is a single leg at a time. I try to transition to that for the most part versus doing the dual leg stuff. So like if I get on like a leg press or something like that, I'll do single leg press versus dual leg press. And then I'll, like any other strength work I do is like non-lower body specific. So like I'll do a day where I'm doing core for kind of a focus, and then I'll usually I'm the least consistent with this, but it's like upper body stuff once per week. Yeah. So like that would be like those 2 lower body, the drills, and like 1 or 2 core upper body sessions per week. That would be like the most diligent I get. There'll be phases of the year where I'll maybe scale back to a single lower body session per week. When I'm kind of in the thick of things, and it's just like eventually you got to get around to like positioning in a way that they don't interfere with your running workouts.
Right.
And I always find like when I'm really consistent with it, I'm usually a little more safe because you normalize the routine to a degree. Whereas if you like take an off season and you come back, it's all of a sudden like one set or a third of the workout essentially is enough to make you sore the next day.
Right. Yeah, for sure. But no, I like the kind of like something small every day approach, because it's like you feel good about it, like because you're getting like a stimulus every single day versus just like, I did 2 days per week this week for like an hour, but then on the other days I did nothing versus like, today I did a lower body set, and yesterday I did like an upper body set, and you only have to spend 10, 15, 20 minutes on it. I think that's like an interesting approach that I think a lot of runners could probably kind of take up. I certainly like that approach better too, and I like doing something. I'll typically try to do something every day, even if it's literally just doing some pull-ups and push-ups and whatnot, like with stuff I have around the house, just because you're technically getting stronger, you're improving on something like every day. Somebody, I don't know who, like where the phrase originated, but like they'll call it like greasing the grooves. So like you said, doing just motions. Even if it's not super heavy weights, I'll have like a 25-pound kettlebell and maybe do just a couple sets of RDLs throughout the day, or it's like just as you move around the house. So one of the perks of like working from home, I just have like kettlebells sitting next to my desk. So it's been 30 minutes. I'm going to get up and do like a set of kettlebell swings or something. So that can keep you active and like keep you doing some strength training. And it's also a little bit like mentally stimulating too.
It is.
So it's all just been it's kind of been like a game. Cause like you said, unless you are a full-time professional athlete, but unless you are that, or, unless you are one, like, you only have a limited amount of time. It's like, training and running is going to come first, kind of your main thing. But then it's like, you try to fit the strength training in, and, if you don't have time to go to the gym, then how can you integrate strength training? Because it certainly is important, and I can't neglect it, as I have neglected it in the past. And like you said, once you hit a certain age, you no longer can start to neglect it. It becomes a need to do versus an optional thing.
Yeah. When you first moved to Austin, you had like a hamstring issue that finally got resolved, right?
Yeah, the hamstring issue was so interesting. So I had tore my hamstring probably 3 or so years ago, and it wasn't even run. I mean, I heard it running, but it wasn't even like running where I tore it. I tweaked it, and then I was just like being an idiot in the gym one day and like stretching really bad, and I just heard like a snap, and I just knew like, oh, something's wrong. So that was huge hamstring injury, like kind of like proximal hamstring. I had that, and I went to rehab for that and stuff like that, and it did get better, and obviously allowed me to run again. But like for probably 2 years, I had just experienced like not like a debilitating pain, but going on runs, you'd feel it. Sitting down is when I would feel it the most, like almost like what people will describe as like proximal hamstring tendinopathy. So like you have an injury and it never goes away. Like if I were sitting like this for an hour or so, you're just like, you feel this pain like almost in like your butt. Just the pain in your butt. So I had just been dealing with that for a long time. The pain didn't really go away. I was doing like a ton of hamstring rehab, hamstring strengthening type of stuff, and it just didn't go away. So we moved to Austin. I went to a place here called Run Lab. They have several different locations here because I wanted to see like a PT and just like see what was up.